We are here in San Pedro on Ambergris Caye, and today we're going to go through the cost of groceries with you. So I put together my quick shopping list of what I needed to pick up from the store, and here on the island, grocery shopping is a bit like a scavenger hunt. Some places have the things that you need, others don't. Some have better prices than others. So we're going to take you around to a couple of the stores that we usually go to so you can see what the prices look like. Come on with us. Our first stop is going to be the Superbuy. Superbuy is a locally owned grocery store. They have 3 different locations here on the island, one in the heart of downtown, the second south near the Marriott Alaya property, and the third right over the bridge going in a northward direction. So let's go to Superbuy and take a look at what they have. All right, we made it here to Superbuy. Superbuy in town is one of the largest grocery stores here on the island. Now, they tend to import a lot of items that are not from Belize. So this is where we'll typically come if we're looking for something a little specialty. They have a fantastic cheese selection, and they have a lot of the things that we're not necessarily going to find at a lot of the other smaller local grocery stores. So let's go in here. We're going to pick up some cheese. Hopefully they have the diapers that we need for the baby and a few other things. Come on. See, it's $20 for a 2-pack. That must mean it's expired, right? Usually, oh no, it's not expired. July 2025. It's a pro tip for you is make sure you're always checking the expiration dates because it can very well be expired, but this is good. This is July 2025. If it's a 2-pack for $20, that means it's a really good deal. So we're going to get this. This is not on the list, but it is something that we need. Now, again, it's a dairy item, so we're going to make sure we're checking the expiration date. August 2025, we're good. So personally, I like the Bounty paper towels. I have tried some of these single ply before. However, they really don't capture much. So I do tend to go for Bounty. Now, I don't see any on the shelves here, but I usually don't buy them here anyway. Here, they're about $14 Belize a roll, where at a lot of the other supermarkets or places, you can typically get them for about $6 or $7. So we'll save that item for the next store. So my family, we tend to eat a lot of cheese. This is primarily where I would come to get cheese. So a couple of items I need, for example, string cheese. We're going to look for mozzarella. And again, always going to check the expiration date. So for a string cheese like this, it's 12 sticks. It costs $20.25 Belize. So we're looking at about $10 US for these cheese sticks. Now these are imported items, so we would expect it to cost more. But let's just double check. I don't actually see the expiration date on here. Oh, there it is. April 7th, 2025. We are on a roll today, guys. Let's look for some mozzarella. Ooh, burrata. Burrata's always good. Let's see this one. March 26th, 2025. Guys, we are doing good. We are doing really good today. And then Laughing Cow is a favorite of mine. There is Happy Cow, which is a local cheese, but Laughing Cow I find is a little bit creamier, so it's one of my favorites. Yep. All right, again, another imported item for $14.75 Belize, so we round up to $15, $7.50 US, and this is good, June 2025. Taking this one too. This is one supermarket that actually has a decent amount of fresh fruits and vegetables. However, we're going to take you to a fruit stand because we tend to find better selection there, more options, and also the price is a little bit less. So there is actually no price on many of these things. I have bought strawberries here before though, and they're about 20 Belize dollars. However, we can typically get them from a fruit stand for about 14 Belize dollars. All right, so it's March 2025, and what I want to know is, are they late or are they very early this year with the Christmas candy? Probably late. So for many of you, this is probably not going to be applicable, but we have a 15-month-old, so diapers are a necessity. Now, we have tried a lot of the other brands before. They don't tend to hold as well as these Huggy Supreme. However, I will tell you, it is always a crapshoot coming into the store. This is one of the only stores that sells this brand, and I say it's a crapshoot because so many times they don't have his size, which is E5, but they have today, so I'm going to grab a few of these to stock up. So behind me, you'll find a lot of imported items. For example, Fruit Loop flavored Eggos. As you can imagine, that is not a traditional Belizean item here. So this is the stretch where you'll typically find those sort of items, the frozen items here. Breyers is probably a name that you recognize when it comes to ice cream world. However, there is and are some really good local ice cream shops here. So I would recommend skipping the Breyers and going to a place like Paradise Ice Cream, and you can pick up their quarts or fresh pints there, and they are delicious. Just for reference sake, I don't even know if there is pricing on here. No, I don't see pricing on here, but I'm going to guess that these are probably about $20 to $25 Belize. And just as a heads up, just because there is a price tag on it does not mean that's actually what the price is. There are times that they'll ring something up, and as it'll come into their system, it may be more than what is on the tag, and they're not going to give it to you for what's on the tag. So just be aware of that. I know that's something in North America. If it's on the tag, that's what you have to get charged. That's not the case here. I love a good Cabernet. Now, this was not on the list, but I think we can probably sneak a bottle in. I do like this 19 Crimes. The Menage a Trois brand is nice too, but I don't see that at first glance. We'll do the 19 Crimes. A bottle of Cabernet, 19 Crimes cost $57 Belize. Note that we are in the grocery store here. This grocery store does have a great wine selection. If you are looking for something specific, there is a great store called Wine Divine. They import cheeses, they import wines, and they have a far larger selection. That's their specialty, really. So if there's something specific you're looking for, I'd recommend going there. Otherwise, there are some really great options here too with the reds and the whites. All right, I know there's a lot of questions right now about how much eggs cost because of everything that's going on with the shortage in the States. So here, for example, a tray of eggs or a carton of eggs, they have by ounces, 24 ounces, but it's 12 eggs in total. You are looking at $5.25 Belize, so about $2.75 US. If you want a larger tray of eggs, that's 30 eggs, you're going to be looking at 11 Belize dollars, so that's going to be $5.50 US. Oh, and you can also buy it by the singular, so if you want just one egg, that's 50 cents Belize, so 25 cents US. All right, so I was mentioning to you buying locally versus buying imported items. Here's a great example. So here's Happy Cow cheese, not Laughing Cow, but Happy Cow. This is $3.45 Belize compared to the Laughing Cow cheese, which is $14.75. Now, personally, I prefer this one. It has some of the herbs and garlic in it that this one doesn't have, and I find this one a little creamier, but this is a fantastic substitute if you are not necessarily as picky. I will tell you, my Belizean husband prefers this one so much more than he prefers this one. So maybe what I'll do is I'll get him this one too. I'll get them both. I completely forgot to bring my bags. However, if you also need to purchase them, they are 50 cents Belize a bag. All right, note some golf carts come with the trunks. So that's always handy if you're doing a day of shopping or an afternoon of shopping and you want to make sure no one's able to take what's on your cart. Our total came out to $303.24. Do note that $123 of that were the diapers. So you could take that out and you're at about 180, 190? Yeah, about 190 Belize. And just to note, there's an N and the T to the right of the price per item. And so you can see the N and the T. The N means it's not GST taxed, and the T means it is GST taxed. So all the way at the bottom, we can see what the GST was on the total. And that's how, the total all the way there at the end, including the GST. And something else to note is that the price that you see on the shelf includes the GST. On the receipt, they break out the GST, as you can see at the bottom. I know in the States, because each state has its own tax, that it'll give you the price of the item and then the tax is not included. But that is not how it is done here. All right, our second stop is Publix, which is right behind me. We're located about half a mile south of the downtown area, just right across the street from where the new water taxi terminal is. If you've stayed in touch with our videos and you saw the how to get to the water taxi, do note that that San Pedro Express has actually moved south since we did that video, and that is right over here by the Publix. So Publix, there are a few of these Publix grocery stores located within Belize. This one opened up about 4 or 5 months ago, and I find has very reasonable prices. So we're going to go inside and take a look at what they have. What? Oh, see, that's only $6.45 here for one. So actually what my bargain of 2 for $20 was not really a bargain. They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really for fine. One little Philadelphia cream cheese. So at Superbuy, I just got 2 for $20 thinking it was a bargain, because usually at Superbuy, they're like $14.95. Now here they're $6.45, so should have waited. Now I know. So these I will get here because usually if I get them at Superbuy, it's about $14.95 for a pack. Here they're $8.55. Remember, all these prices are in Belize dollars, so if you're doing the math, just cut it in half. Get a couple of these. That's a good price. Oh yes, they have Bounty. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted. So I don't know why they have two different prices, $14.05, $18. Oh, because of the doubles and triples and all of that. I just need this one. So $18.29, about $20 Belize for a 2-pack of Bounty. Pretty good compared to what the other store usually charges. And yes, the Charmin. Usually I don't buy Charmin, but I will for my husband today. So this, by the way, costs $38 Belize for a 6-pack, which it says equals 24 rolls. I don't know. We'll just get this one anyway, just to make him happy. But usually I'm fine with Scott, but we're going to splurge today. All right, so this is the milk that you'll typically find here in Belize. It's the boxed milk. It's going to be on the shelf. Now, there is milk in the gallon that stays in the refrigerator. That's the Western dairies. You can typically get half a gallon for about $9 Belize, $10 Belize. This one, it is $3.75 Belize, and it's 1 liter. So I'm going to pick up one of these to have this. It's nice. It has an extended shelf life as well compared to what we have in the refrigerators. All right, at Publix, we spent a total of $71.33. Half of that, though, was the Charmin. We did pick up a couple of beverages, too, some water and Gatorade, so that added to the mix. At this point, we've had pretty good luck with getting everything on the list. Now we just need to get the fruit, and we're going to go specifically to a fruit stand for that one. Let's go. So another great grocery store that I go to if I do not end up at Superbuy is Walmart. Walmart is located in town just south of the Tropic Air Airport, and they tend to have a lot of imported items as well, and usually very fully stocked. All right, we are heading over to the fruit stand now. We're heading to Heavens. This is the fruit stand that I discovered maybe about 10 years ago when it was really, really hard to find. Now, this is not, I don't always end up at Heavens because for me it is a little out of the way compared to where I live and where my usual errands are. However, when I have the chance, I do end up here because I do find it to be a better value than any of the places that are on the main drag. This one is going to be called Heavens in San Pedro. And again, we're going to just look at some prices here. And on our way around town too, I'll point out some other fruit stands. Honestly, though, most places where you see fruit hanging is going to be really fresh. So you can always just stop in any place that you see to pick up your fresh produce. Where are you going? Oh, right past it. I thought you said a road being paved. We made it here to Heavens. As I mentioned, it's one of our favorite fruit stands here on the island. And we are going to get our strawberries here, also our grapes. And I see a couple of items that weren't on our list, but I'm going to be getting those as well. Cynthia, you want a papaya, you mentioned, right? Yes. We're going to pick up a papaya too, and we'll show you at the cash register everything we end up getting.
How are you?
Very good. How are you doing?
Good. What do you name?
Rachel.
Oh, nice to meet you.
What is it? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Perfect. So something to note is not all fruit stands take card. This one does, but I am going to pay in cash because I was prepared with my cash today to be spending it at the fruit stand. So there you go. $59 for all of that.
There you go.
Awesome. Thank you
very much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank
You're a
you.
movie star. So one thing that we did not have on our list that I splurged on a little bit were these little spicy mango treats. I'm going to open them up. I've never had them before, but these were $20 out of our $59 bill. So the rest of the items here, the imported strawberries, the large papaya, the 2 pounds of grapes, and also the peaches were about $39, Belize. So, all right, let's do these. So this is a dried mango with a spicy tahini chili sauce on top, or not sauce, seasoning, we'll say. And it is so good. It is so good. Cynthia, you want one? Oh yes, it's spicy. Well, there is a chili powder on it. So if you're someone who does not like spice, then I would say you should avoid these little snacks over here. But all right, concluding today's shopping, we spent about $430 Belize, but let's take out the Charmin and the diapers because you may not need those. And we're coming in at about $140 US, 280 Belize dollars for all of our shopping. So I think that's quite good. As I mentioned, Heavens is one of my favorite grocery stores. We took you to 2 great grocery stores, many other incredible ones too, or you may find that the ones I pointed out don't have exactly what you need all the time. So get creative, spend a little bit of time getting to know the stores. And what I would even recommend is spending some time to get to know the owners, because as you start to become more of a frequent customer at these stores, you'll tend to find that your bill may be $100 and they'll say, yeah, just give me 85. That's okay. And a lot of the business here is really on a relationship basis. So with that, friends, I hope you learned a lot today. Remember, all of the prices were in Belize dollars, and we amounted to about 140 US dollars for today's shopping. I'm sure there'll be people reaching out saying, how much for this item? How much for that item? I would say just expect any imported items to cost more than you anticipate. Assume anything that is grown here or from Belize to cost less than you're used to in the States or your home country. With that, have a fantastic day and thanks for tuning in.